Welcome back to Sully's Rods and Customs. As you can see behind me there, I've got the fuel injection fuel rails back on. It's the new ones. I'll flick around and I'll show you what they look like now. These are the Aeroflow ones. These ones I spoke about that are a bit scratched and stuff out of the box. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it, it's not that clear, but a lot of these little tarnish marks here. Still waiting for the supplier to reply to me. I couldn't wait around for them. I had stuff to do. I had to get them fitted to the engine. As you can see, they're fitted up here now. These are those Dash 8 Aeroflow Orb plugs. They're like a low profile one, nice and low profile there. You can see how I had to fit the little injector extension pieces on there, and little adapters to try and raise the fuel rails up high enough so I didn't foul on all these plugs because it was touching all the plugs. I've still got to do some work to get this wiring run underneath and bring the cables up in between each of these throttle bodies. Also got to rerun this coil extension harness. That will be back here at some stage. All the cores won't be on here, they'll be back in the car, so you won't see any of them, and I'll get some schmick looking rocker covers. What I had to do was I had to make my own aluminium brackets. That's just texture marks on there of where I did the bends to fit these fuel rails. Fuel rails come with two sets of brackets, but they had to actually fit these throttle bodies. So center position where the bolt used to be was quite tight and up high. Didn't fit the position where I had to bolt to the throttle body, as you can see down there. So I had to manufacture some offset ones. I just purchased some, it's like 3 or 4 mil aluminium. I made a couple of prototypes. I'll show you what they are over here on the bench. Still got them laid out here. So these are the standard Aeroflow brackets. They're like an offset bracket. First of all, I made just a flat version out of a bit of 2 mil alloy. It's an easy material to work with. And then I realized I had to bolt it in offset on one of the holes just to move it to the side. So the amount of offset that I had to bolt it in, as you can see on here when you put the two pieces together, is twice the size of the bracket. So if I offset this fully to the other hole there, you can see that the hole lines up at the top there. So it had to be that full bracket spacing offset to one side. So I made these ones, and they're a little bit short. They were probably 10 mil short on the length, which was pulling the fuel rails over, and I got a few fuel leaks. So then I just drew up another little prototype one out of paper, took it over to the fuel rails, fit them up, and they work great. Had a little fuel leak when I first started. I pinched one of the O-rings, so I had to replace the O-ring on this front injector. All I did was turn the ignition on just to check the fuel system. Got a bit of a fuel leak. It just poured fuel all over this valley cover. But I'm pretty close to starting this thing up. So hopefully there's nothing really left to start it up. Got everything fitted. Got the aftermarket throttle position sensor there. Got the new fuel rails on there. They're all wired up. They're all plumbed up. This is just temporary at the back because they're going to run off. I have these old cheap black AN fittings here, Dash 6. These are the correct ones that are going to suit the build. And they're going to go to this white piece down here, down the side somewhere out of the way. I might even mount the fuel regulator on the back of the block here somewhere. Got plenty of room. These can both run to that, and I can drop the return line back off to the tank. I've got my air intake controller mounted now on that little block that I showed you the other day. Again, they're just taped up because they're aluminium. I don't want to get them all scratched up. Got my map sensor in that side. Got my two vacuum lines that run off each of the throttle bodies under there, which I showed you before. I mean, it's a bit of a rat's nest of cables back here, but when I redo the harness for the final build, I'll get that sorted. So everything's pretty much here and ready to connect up. So like I showed before, I've got the throttle bodies both working, all four working together. I've just got the air intake temperature sensor sitting just here. Fuel rails are on and pretty solid, so I should be able to kick this baby in the guts. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. What does that sound? That sounds like I've got no fuel. What have we got here? Let's turn that off and back on again. No fuel pressure means no fuel in that little cell. Give me a couple of seconds, I'll just pause this and I'll fill it up with fuel and we'll see if we can't kick this in the guts. Okay, that took a bit longer than expected. I didn't actually have any fuel. I had to take off down the petrol station and get some. So I just topped it up there now. It has fuel in it. It's getting a little bit dark. I might just click this light on if it makes a difference. Let's see what a bit of fuel will do. Let's go again. Go again. All right. There we go. We have fuel pressure. Let's see all the gauges on. This is a bit of a milestone moment for me. I'll just do it one more time just to make sure I got fuel up to the rails because they were empty. All right, let's see what happens here. That is awesome. First freaking kick. So the throttle body's there. I don't know if this is. Feels like it's running a bit rough. Up with this. Something's a bit of a miss there, but when I look at the pipe, I can see a bit of fuel coming out of that right bank. A bit of black fumes, which it never really ran before. You can see it all. It shows up in the camera. Must be running really rich on that bank. Idling smooth. That's really good. Freaking sick. Got a bit of struggling a bit to idle there at times, but I'll have to put my scan tool on it and see what the issues are. But got to be pretty happy with that. That's running really rich. I can smell the fumes. Feels like bank 2 is running really rich. That one running pretty cool actually. It's really rich, so I think I have a bit of either a fueling or ignition problem on bank number 1. It's running a bit rough. You can see it's shaking the run stand. I don't have a throttle cable hooked up to this yet. It's just sitting there, but still pretty cool. Pretty pleased with myself. It's running a bit fast actually. I might see if I can slow that down. That's my idle screw there, I think. Hang on 2 seconds, see if I can. I'll do it after. No big deal. So again, the engine's running really quiet. It smells really rich. But you've got to be happy with that, right? That's a lot of work to get that cross-draft injection system working. But pretty happy with the result. Looks like my battery's gone flat in my light. Can't close the door, probably die of fumes, so. I can hear this bank 2, I can feel the compression, I can smell the fumes off it, and it's running warm. Bank 1's running cool. I can feel the compression there, but it feels like it's just blowing air like a pump. So I'll turn it off. I'll get my scan tool hooked up and I'll investigate and I'll let you know what I find. Awesome. Got to be happy with that, guys and girls. So again, if you like what you see, you like what I'm doing here, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Got plenty more to come. Pretty interesting to get this thing running. Now I know it's running, I can fine tune a few things, strip it down, get the engine looking perfect and rebuilt and go from there. Righto. Thanks again. See you next time.